I'm going to try to keep each video to one concept, and this one is for Americans. I don't know what to tell you guys, but I'm about to witness, and so are you, narcissistic abuse on a grand scale. It seems like Donald Trump is about to send 100,000 U.S. troops to Iran to fight a war. Now, he's telling them it's going to be easy, just like Iraq. It's really no different than my family. They tell you that they're narcissistic abuse. That's what it is. They tell you that they love you. They tell you that they care about you. They tell you they're going to protect you, when in fact none of it is true. They're using you, and they don't care if you live or die. And in fact, you're kind of better off dead at the end of it, so you don't hold them accountable. So my question is it not the responsibility to warn the younger troops not to go to Iran? Tell them that if they want to be true heroes, they stay home. If they want to really be patriots, they don't leave their country. Patriots love their country. Patriots don't die in Iran. Patriots. I don't know what the hell that means, because it's a pretty funny accusation. You're not a patriot. If someone said you're not a patriot here in our country or in any other country, they would get laughed at so hard. But then again, if any guys here talked about abortion, they would be laughed at too. I mean, it's funny really, because there's a lot of things that American men do that here we see as completely effeminate, including going to war. I mean, we have a very small army because there's just not a lot of guys who are going to take orders from other men to kill, to die, or even to do push-ups, man. Like, we don't need to build our bodies with steroids and put tattoos that look tough to be men. There's a problem. There's a narcissistic issue there in the USA with the youth, and this it's a very strange culture. It's funny because a lot of those guys look at lefties and progressives like me. They call us soy boys, but they're the ones who look completely like the way gay guys used to look, and they acting like total bottom boys. I mean, big muscles like the gays had when I was growing up. Dudes didn't care about their muscles. That was for gay guys to show off to each other, and it still is. You go into a gym today, which I don't, but it's just a bunch of like dudes working out for each other and actually helping each other. Ugh. Anyways, that's just my thing there. But back to the point. I feel you owe it to them. As much as I think very little of these people, the truth is a lot of them are young. Too young to understand that their parents don't give a shit about them. Their parents hate them, and their parents unconsciously want them to die overseas. No parent would allow their child to go fight a war on behalf of a government unless they really didn't give a crap about their kids, unless they didn't love them. And what a lot of these kids were raised, very, very sad situation. Similar to the way I was raised as a Jew, that if I didn't become a businessman, a rich, wealthy businessman, or a lawyer, or a doctor, but really it was to be a wealthy businessman, well, then I didn't belong to the tribe, so to speak. But I could tell you, I've been a wealthy businessman in the past. I've had my own businesses where I was making, six figures at least. So when you're 20, in your 20s, your 30s, you're making over 100. You feel pretty good. It doesn't mean anything. You're still not really part of the tribe, because it's all an illusion. And these poor soldiers, they're young. They've been raised in military families, religious upbringings. They've been so brainwashed that they actually think about abortion. These are grown men. A lot of them without even any wives or girlfriends or children. And their concern is some other family's unborn child. I mean, give me a fucking break, man. Priorities. If that's their priority, It's simply the result of brainwashing, because it doesn't help them at all. It doesn't help anyone. That's the sad part. It doesn't help anyone. It helps the unborn. No, it doesn't. We all know life is a pain in the ass. So, so really, man, like, I feel like putting up a channel that particularly addresses this issue. I just might do it, because even if I can get 10 U.S., even if I can get one U.S. soldier to give the army the finger when they say, all right, we're sending you off to Iran, one of them, just one of them, learns to be a man, a real man, and say to his fucking army when they want to send him, fuck you. I am my own man. I'm going my own way. I was hired and I enlisted to protect this country, not to go fight in Iran. I'm a patriot, which means my feet remain in the USA. If you want to use the word patriot in a debate, that's it. Be a man, bro. You got your big muscles. You got your big guns. You got your fruitcake fucking tattoos, man. You got your big SUV, whatever it takes in America to be a man, fine. But until you can fucking stand for yourself and protect your life, until you're not a guy bending over and spreading for the honor of being a hero, dude, it is complete bullshit. Speak to some Vietnam vets. Speak to some families from Iraq whose kids died. You know, I'm old enough. I remember Iraq. The Americans were full of bravado. It was gonna be easy to win in Iraq. 100,000 over 2 years died. Imagine I had 100,000 subscribers, and they all died in Iran over oil. And they claim to be patriots? That's not a patriot, man. I mean, I don't even know what a patriot is. We don't have them here. We're all patriotic, okay? We don't define ourselves as patriots, because we have a lot more going on in our existence than the goddamn country. We have lives here, believe it or not. We're programmers, you know. We're victims of childhood abuse, maybe. I don't know. But we're not patriots, man. We're patriotic citizens. We're also not workers. They talk about the American worker. If they talked about the workers, us as workers here, we would be more than insulted. We just wouldn't take it, man. We'd say, fuck you, buddy. We're people. We're citizens. You know, if you're workers, that means you're being identified as a lower case than the bosses or the shareholders. I mean, that's the way it's become in America. They've belittled you. And the soldiers are the ones who pay the biggest price. I mean, this is what this video is about. I think it's up to you guys who watch this channel, even if there's only a few of you, to speak out, man. When you see a guy walking by in U.S. military fatigues or whatever the fuck they dress like in the U.S. to identify, stop him and say, buddy, you want to be a hero? You want to be a real fucking hero, the biggest hero? When they tell you to go to Iran, tell them to fuck off, man. Tell them to fuck off. Speak to these kids, man, because they don't see it coming. And they're not smart enough. No, it's not they're not smart enough, you see. Unconsciously, they won't research Iraq. They don't want to face it. And I understand that. I didn't want to face my parents. Look, my parents moved away from me. They tried to send me all kinds of away. They were always sending me away. They were always hurting me. And I didn't really see it because they were paying my bills, right? And that's the way the U.S. military is. They pay their bills, so these people take abuse. I mean, from the first day, they get told how many push-ups to do, and they do them. Dude, that's making you into a bitch. They've been broken down, man. They've been broken down. And if I have to see another 100,000 young American suckers, even if they're the most right-wing fucking extremist Christian terrorists themselves, I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up. I'm going to wonder, how can it happen again? You know, it's not going to happen to me again. I'm not going to be abused by a narcissist or a psychopath again. I'm sure many of you who have experienced it will never happen again. Why will America let it happen again and again and again? You don't see Israel going into wars. They can't win. Guys, if they run into Iran, they drop a bomb and they get the hell out of there. And you call it a conspiracy. Not a conspiracy. The individual Jew just will say, no, man, fuck you. We're not fighting your war, government. That's the big conspiracy. The Jews are like me. We're like, fuck you. No, man. No, we'll take your money. Sure, pay us. But we signed up to protect this country. Not to go overseas, man. Not to go overseas. Simple as that. So we're taking your money. You can chase us in court. You can put us in your little fucking faggoty military jail for 6 months. We don't give a shit. Be a man, man. You want to know the Jewish conspiracy, guys? You want to benefit from the Jewish conspiracy? American military soldiers? It's pretty easy. Don't go to war. Then you'll be alive and you'll be able to enact your agenda. It's just like us, you see. I'm not going to die in a war. So I am 100% sure I'll be here to enact my agenda. You can't be sure if you're going to Iran. As a matter of fact, there's a good chance that you're going to die and you know it. Or you're going to come back, without legs or arms. You're going to be angry. Oh my God, you're going to be pissed off. My brother died from narcissistic abuse. He was very angry his whole life. So am I, but dude, I can't say it any better than this. I can talk for 6 hours. You Americans, you owe it to your little soldiers. They're 18. They're not even. Are they 18? I don't know when you can enlist, but 18, 19. They've been brainwashed, man, and you really should snap them out of it. Even if it takes, throwing some cold water in their face. Really, what I would do if I were you guys, stop calling them heroes. Your soldiers are not heroes. Your soldiers are weak, cowardly victims. It's not a hero, man. It's not a hero. It is quite the opposite. Calling a hero calling, a soldier, a military soldier, who's going to go overseas to Iraq, to Iran, to a foreign country, fight and die. Calling them a hero is like calling me a hero for surviving my parents' narcissistic abuse. I'm no hero. I barely made it, and that's what every soldier is going to tell you when he gets back. I barely made it. I'm not a hero. How many of them are going to commit mass shootings when they come back? How many of them are going to kill their wives when they come back, or their families? All of these guys, they're all ex-military. You're just creating another generation of psychopaths. Traumatized individuals. Because once you've seen death, you can see it again. That's going to be... You better hope they all die. You know what? You're almost better off if all 100,000 soldiers who go to Iran die in Iran. Because imagine you had another 100,000 Iraqis, Vietnam vets alive in the USA. How many more mass shootings you would have had? How many more Christian extremist terror attacks you would have had? A lot. So you've either got to protect them and keep them safe from going, or if they go, you got to hope they get killed, man. You don't want them back. Very sad. Very sad. Very sad. And people letting it happen, and that's really the sad part. It's not so much that it's happening, because I understand Trump doesn't care about anybody. His kids aren't going to fight. Donald Trump didn't even go to he skipped the draft. And his people are going to go die for him now in Iran. How stupid do they have to be, guys? For me, it was my parents. There was no fucking, for other people, it was our relationships, our girlfriends, our wives. There was no forewarning, unfortunately. Here, there's decades and centuries of paperwork and data and evidence showing the Americans cannot win the wars that they think they can win. You can't win a war, guys. I've been watching organized crime. It just goes back and forth and back and forth. It's like a divorcing couple. Nobody wins. Yeah, sure they do. You know who wins? The people watching from a distance, because they get to learn from the death and the suffering of others. So yeah, Trump will win. I'll win, because I'll get to experience yet another pathetic example of young men and women dying for their government. It's an experience that I can chalk up and use in my, in my material. I'll gain. Everyone will gain, but the soldiers, the people who are dying, you're not gaining anything, man. You're losing it all. It's been a sad week. I saw a couple of people. It was just one guy. I'll talk about him in another video. Anyways, I'm gonna cancel it. I'm gonna stop it there. I don't care if you hate me, man. I hope you hate me. It means I've gotten to you. Patriot, dying in Iran for a president who didn't even go to war, pretended he had bone spurs. How stupid! Seriously, how stupid do they have to be? This is Stockholm Syndrome 901. I mean, this is insanity. And it's unfolding right between my eyes. And if it actually happens, how could I not laugh? You can either cry or laugh. And I've already decided I'm going to laugh. It's like if the USA gets another terror attack like 9/11, I'm going to have to laugh. It's like they're asking for it. They're begging for it. So how can we not say that they deserve it? I'm not a psychopath for thinking that. It's like, this is a borderline approach, saying, you know what, it's vengeance. They start wars everywhere. They deserve to die. They're stupid enough to enlist for the government, a government that none of their kids go to war. How stupid, I really, you know what, I cannot understand the military mentality, because as much as I was raised in Judaism and to believe in my family, I never would have sacrificed or risked my life for them. Especially after my brother died, and these guys have seen thousands of their fellow soldiers die. Someone explain to me, man. The more I talk about it, the more I'm at a loss.